Hello, my little friends. Today I'll be telling you a story about the Benin Kingdom. Long before colonial rule reached West Africa, a powerful and sophisticated kingdom flourished in what is now southern Nigeria. This was the Benin Kingdom, famous for its powerful kings, rich culture, and incredible bronze artworks. But how did this great kingdom begin? To understand the origin of Benin, we must travel back many centuries to the earliest rulers known as the Ogisos. The earliest period of Benin history is known as the Ogiso era. The word Ogiso means king of the sky. These rulers governed the people of Benin long before the famous Obas came to power. The first Ogiso was a ruler known as Igbodo, who established the early authority of kingship in the land. After Igbodo came another important ruler named Ogiso Ere. Ere is remembered as a great reformer. He organized the people into professional guilds, groups of craftsmen such as blacksmiths, carvers, and bronze workers. These guilds strengthened the kingdom's economy and laid the foundation for the greatness Benin would later achieve. After Ere, several other Ogisos ruled the kingdom, including Ogiso Orire. Interestingly, history tells us that some of the Ogiso rulers were women, showing that women also held powerful leadership positions in early Benin society. The dynasty continued for many generations until the reign of the last Ogiso. The final ruler of the Ogiso dynasty was Ogiso Owodo. His reign was filled with conflict. Owodo clashed with powerful nobles in the kingdom, and palace intrigues created serious problems in the royal court. These tensions would eventually lead to a major turning point in the history of Benin. Because of palace conspiracies and conflicts among the king's wives, Owodo banished his only son and heir, Prince Ekaladeran. Forced into exile, Ekaladeran left Benin and traveled far from his homeland. During his journey, he established a settlement known as Ugoton, which later became an important port town in the Benin Kingdom. Ekaladeran later continued his journey through Erua and eventually arrived in Ile-Ife, a powerful spiritual and political center in Yoruba land. There, he spent the rest of his life and rose to become a respected ruler. But back in Benin, the kingdom was entering a dangerous period of political instability. After the fall of the Ogiso dynasty, Benin entered a period without a king. The elders formed a temporary government led by a man named Evian. However, Evian later attempted to place his son Ogiamen on the throne. The people rejected this decision because Evian was not from the royal Ogiso lineage. This rejection created a serious political crisis in the kingdom. Soon the kingdom became divided into two powerful groups. One group supported the return of a legitimate monarchy. The other group supported Ogiamen and a republican style of leadership. The conflict created a political stalemate that threatened the stability of the entire kingdom. In search of a solution, the elders of Benin sent a delegation to the Oni of Ile-Ife, one of the most respected kings in the region. They asked the Oni to send a prince who could rule over the Benin people. The request was accepted. The Oni sent his son, Prince Oranmiyan, to become the new ruler of Benin. When Oranmiyan arrived in Benin, he attempted to rule the kingdom. But he soon found the people extremely difficult to govern. Frustrated with the situation, Oranmiyan decided to return to Ile-Ife. However, before leaving Benin, an important event took place. Before his departure, Oranmiyan had a relationship with a Benin woman, the daughter of the Enogi of Ego. She later gave birth to a son. That child would grow up to become Eweka I. Before leaving Benin, Oranmiyan reportedly described the land as Ile-Ibino, meaning land of vexation. He believed that only someone born and raised in Benin could truly rule his people. That person would eventually be his own son. When Eweka grew older, he was crowned the first Oba of Benin. With his coronation, a new royal dynasty was established, the Oba dynasty. This dynasty replaced the ancient Ogiso rulers and would guide the kingdom for centuries. Eweka I ruled for many years and strengthened the authority of the throne. He sent many of his sons to different villages as enojis or local chiefs. This system helped expand the influence of the Benin monarchy across the land. The dynasty founded by Eweka I became one of the most powerful royal institutions in African history. Centuries later, the Oba of Benin still reigns today, preserving traditions that began hundreds of years ago. The story of Benin is a story of exile, political struggle, and the birth of a powerful kingdom. My children, that is the story of how the great Benin Kingdom came to be. From the time of the Ogisos, the kings of the sky, to exile, struggle, and the rise of the first Oba Eweka I. History teaches us something important. A kingdom is not built only by strength, but by wisdom, patience, and the unity of its people. Prince Ekaladeran lost his home, yet his bloodline returned to shape the destiny of a nation. Oranmiyan came and left, but the child born from both worlds became the king Benin truly needed. You see, my children, every generation carries the story of those before them. The coral crowns, the palace walls, the traditions we see today are not just symbols of power. They are reminders. Reminders that our past lies inside us. If we forget our history, we forget who we are. And that is why the Oba's throne still stands today. Because the people never allowed their story to die. So whenever you hear the name Benin, remember, it is not just a place. It is a legacy. A story passed from elders to children, just like tonight. Go now and share this wisdom.
Thank you, Grandpa.